Hello, Bob. Are you with me?
Of course.
Are you willing to entertain a few concepts?
I am always receptive to suggestions.
Fine. Think about this then. How do you know you exist?
Well, of course I exist.
But how do you know you exist?
It is intuitively obvious.
Intuition is no proof. What concrete evidence do you have that you exist?
Well, I think, therefore I am.
That's good. That's very good. But how do you know that anything else exists?
My sensory apparatus reveals it to me.
Ah, right.
This is fun.
Now listen. Here's the big question. How do you know that the evidence your sensory apparatus reveals to you is correct?
Stay away from my sensory apparatus. Wow, Trey, that's something to walk in on. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the sewers of Brooklyn, New York, the live podcast. Coming to you live. In podcast and video form. A whole bunch of different ways you could tune in and turn on to yourself. Sorry, everybody. I'm just trying to decide if I should smoke this old bowl of weed or dump it out and put a new bowl in there. It's really a philosophical dilemma I'm having right now. It's Wednesday, March 8th, 2023, 11 p.m. EST. I'm going to smoke this whole bowl, even though it's probably going to be disgusting. It's got to make sure it's all gone. Tonight we're going to be discussing a lot of stuff. And probably nothing at all. The unraveling is happening at speeds at least 2.75 faster than I thought it ever would. It's really starting to get to me. I'm feeling like shockwaves of the tears in reality. It's really throwing me off lately. One thing has been keeping me good, though. I've been enjoying waking up, having a nice old cup of coffee with some THC oil mixed in. And then just, walking around and looking at the sky and looking at trees and stuff. You really have to absorb reality while you can. I love being shut up in the sewer and just doing stuff on the computer. Playing video games, watching boobies, watching big old peckers, doing a whole bunch of cool stuff. Doing art, working on the show and stuff. But then you start to forget that there's an outside. And you could just go out there and breathe, look at the clouds and the sky. You really need to do that, I think, especially while you're stoned on THC coffee. THC coffee is so good. You know what else is good? Beer. Hold on. We got a nice tall boy of Coors Banquet tonight. Let's open the banquet while we talk about stuff. Banquet. So I've been enjoying doing that. That's I don't do it all the time, but on certain days that I'm allowed to, that I could, and I got some time, you get really high, and you walk around, and you just realize that you're alive in here. I don't know if this is a strange conversation, but Boogie, I don't know if anybody knows Boogie, the fat nerd dude that gets mad on the internet and he flips tables and stuff. So he got like rich and then wasted it all in crypto and bragged about it and shit. But then he got in his state there's medical tripping, like, hey, are you feeling depressed? Come to the lab and we'll give you a small dose of, I don't know if it's LSD or shrooms. I'm not too sure. I should ask him because he actually replied to something that I said. I think it was mushrooms though. I forget I don't know what state he's in either. But he's taking mushrooms at the doctor's office. And actually, I should bring up what I said to him. Actually, because I have dabbled in tripping on mushrooms before. Not recently. I'm kind of done with that phase of my life, if you want to call it that. But let's see what I wrote here to him. If you ever done shrooms, this will make sense to you, because it just does. What? So he wrote, he's Boogie2988. I'm currently seeing a psychedelic therapist who has me on schedule. I wonder if there's like those Bob Ross paintings on the wall. I forget what the energy going through them. Not Bob Ross, that other guy. Therapist who has me on a schedule of trying basically every psychedelic until I experience true and total ego death. Wait a second. So they just give him different psychedelics? Like here's LSD, here's shrooms, here's... That doesn't sound very smart. I think they should just stick to mushrooms and work the dosage up or something. But either way, Sunday was his second step. The medicine showed me what an asshole I've been. So I let him know that once you realize that we are all connected, you'll get it. Then you have to balance feeling small and insignificant and feeling too large and burdened. And he replied, what is worse is I realized that we're all the same entity and the same person. When I hurt or let others down, I hurt myself. By being afraid of others, I was afraid of myself. By refusing to help others, I was refusing to help myself. Which I wanted to reply to him was, well, you're just looking for money now, buddy. But good luck to him. And good luck to him taking ketamine. I was offered ketamine. I never tried it though. Actually, Servo, it does sound like a typical psychiatrist, except they don't give you the stuff that they know how it works. They give you some weird stuff made in who knows where. Get this. Let's clear this bowl out here. Last week I wanted to talk about some guy in Brazil. I think like the Brazilian president saw something up in a tree. It wasn't a leprechaun. Like it might have been a leprechaun actually, because I keep hearing about leprechauns being in trees. But this guy was talking about that was Mexico's president said it was the mythical alux. He saw it in a tree. And he took a picture of it. Oh, this is a link to a New York Times article. I can't see this shit. Meh. Ketamine is not a party drug. It's a party drug if everybody's doing it and they're all just fucking in a K-hole sitting in a circle. Now that's a party. All right, look, we're gonna play some music. We have a whole bunch of show to do. We got music. We got news. I think maybe it's probably no news. We got. We're gonna talk about reality falling apart. We're gonna talk about AI. We're gonna talk about phones and phone lines and having phones open. Oh, also, the experiment from last week for video. I know there is video on this podcast, but it's mainly a podcast. But I said, hey, why not just put it on YouTube as well and have some video and do some whatever on there. So last week I did 1080p, and I realized that is a waste. It came out to like a 9 gigabyte file for a 3-hour long video. 720p was about a 3 gigabyte file, and the quality difference between the two after I uploaded it and watched it is negligible. So, mainly being podcast and audio experience, and there being such a little difference between the video quality, we'll be sticking to 720p. We got other stuff planned for the video. If you want to see the video, it's live on twitch.tv/Nick the Rat, or you can watch the recorded stuff on YouTube. And if YouTube ever kicks me off, I have a saved copy on one of the servers in like one of the pipes somewhere. Either way, you'd upload it 160p. Yeah, but I got like the chat going, and at a certain resolution, you can't read the words. For historical content. Actually, what would it look like at 160p? Would you be able to read the... Go to YouTube. Let's go to nicktherat.com on YouTube. Let's bring up a video. And let's see at the lowest resolution if I could read the chat here. 144p.
Like living on a boat, drinking martinis.
I don't like the water that much.
Very
like
hard to read the
looking
chat
the water, but
at
I don't
120p.
like being on the water.
But it does make me look more attractive. So either way, let's listen to the first song of the evening. We got Night Melody by Uniminus. Unminus? Not too sure how you'd pronounce that. We'll be right back with more Nick the Rat.
Hey, Nick, it's me, Sammy, man. Hey, don't play my voicemails, man. Take them down. Take them all down, man. It's Sammy.
No, I won't. I won't take them down. I'm gonna play every single one you sent. Even though it's gonna take about 5 years to get through all of them. Let's play one more of those really old voicemails.
Hey, you know what I realized? I realized I'm just like some kind of random dude who's just like calling into your podcast too. That's like being broadcast to millions. It's like I don't know. Can't explain it any other than that, but it's kind of weird. You know, it's like I'm stuck into like, you know, some random guy.
It's not that weird.
And this like popular ass podcast and shit.
You're making it even more popular, my friend.
Man.
The phone lines are open. No, I just smoked all that weed. I don't remember what I was going to talk about here. Wait, I do remember. Discord, banned from Discord for hate speech. I emailed them very politely saying, "Por qué? I don't speech the hate. I only do that on Reddit." They emailed me back today, I think. Actually, this morning. I'm unbanned, everybody. I'm back on. I got my hello caller. Hello caller. East of the north.
Nick,
Hi.
how are you, Nick?
I'm decent. I just got my Discord
for-
account back.
He's
Whoa!
your-
What the hell?
Nick just answered the phone. Nick is on the phone.
Ask for Kieran Jamar Cannon.
She doesn't want to listen, dude.
Ask for what?
Like, I put the show on and
Danny
everything.
Tanner?
She's playing some stupid song. What's up, dude?
Wait, who? What?
All right, don't worry about it. Go outside.
Go outside?
How's the show going?
How's my show going?
Yeah, how you feeling right now, dude?
I don't know. I'm feeling torn. Like I have very little control over anything.
Control and torn. That's okay. Like, you're not scared. You're not out of control.
I'm actually.
You don't need
a little
control.
scared, I think.
You're enjoying whatever's going on, it sounds like. So rock and roll, dude.
Yeah.
Hold on. Should we go outside?
Yeah. We're going out.
Somebody needs me to.
Right here.
You're going outside?
I don't think so. I don't know what the hell. We're crawling out a window or something? Oh my God, we really are.
Are you at a
Nick,
party?
this chick wants me to crawl out a window.
Crawl out
this
the window.
This is awesome, dude.
She might get
I had
stuck
no
in the
idea.
window. Let her go first because she might get
Holy
stuck.
Shit. I'm still with you. No. Hell yeah, dude. I didn't know you had this, Deidre. It's like we're just chilling on a little
Wait, and her name
patio, but
Phaedra?
kind of a roof. Whatever.
You're on a roof?
So, Nick, yeah, I'm on a roof. I just stepped out a window, but I'm on like a second story.
That's a weird superpower.
It's not. It's not important. Let's talk, dude. What's going on with you? This is awesome. I'm talking to Nick again.
I'm drinking a beer.
I wanna
talking to you.
No. Dude, I do not have a beer. And this is ridiculous. Let's not
tell
talk
Phaedra
about
to
that,
get you a
Nick.
beer. Tell her to climb into another window and grab you a beer.
I'm drunk enough right now. Let's just talk. I got Nick the Rat on the phone. I'm not worried about my sobriety. I'm doing okay with my sobriety, Nick. How are you, man?
My sobriety is doing decent.
I mean, I'm stressed out, dude. My life is a mess right now.
Yeah.
Are you feeling okay?
I'm.
I cannot.
I'm doing just.
I can't say.
Reality's falling apart, but I'm okay. I'm a little scared.
Yeah, you're doing great. I wish I was.
You're doing great.
I wish you would like put some vibes out in the air for me, or a prayer, or whatever. Whatever you believe in, man. For me,
is this Alec
I'm a
Baldwin?
little worried about myself right now, and that's strange.
Sir,
I never used to worry about myself, Nick. I'm cold, so I'm talking funny.
Sir Steam Monk wants to know: is this Alec Baldwin?
No. If I was Alec Baldwin, dude, I would not be talking to Nick the Rat. He asked me, he said, is this Alec Baldwin? Oh, I am on the roof talking a bunch of nonsense. That's a good question, Nick.
Is this the QAnon shaman?
Am I Alec Baldwin? Deidre, are you Alec Baldwin? She said she is. I'm not going to shoot her. Nick wants me to shoot you.
That's fine.
I'm going back through this window, Nick.
Do not shoot her.
Nobody told me not to smoke inside.
With solids.
So I'm back.
Only liquids.
It's warm in here. Phew.
Yeah, this guy's very drunk.
What's going on with you, Nick?
I could tell you something that's going to blow your mind.
I'm interested.
Okay.
Please.
I was on Discord, and then I got kicked off, and then I got my account back.
It's back.
It's back, baby. You ever get kicked off the internet?
Why is it back? You got the symbol.
Were you ever kicked off the internet, caller?
I don't know. Like, I don't think so. Actually,
you were never banned. You never got a ban hammer.
I'm not. I've been like kicked off of Reddit servers, but not Reddit. Period. Or anything else. Period. Or like once. Like I stopped doing Facebag back in 2012. So whatever's come across since then, I never joined Instagram and all the Snapchats and stuff.
Can I guess who you are? I think I know who you are.
Well,
does your name start with
it? Why would you ask me? What are you asking me for?
Does your name start with a D?
For anything, Nick?
Does your name start with D?
No. I'm William.
Oh,
I'm the guy in the Discord, the William guy.
Your job just got
I called before. Once before, I called and talked with you.
Did you just post on No Agenda Social about your job, or was that... No, that was inside of the chat room. Yeah, you were posting...
I've been in Discord with you recently, but I'm not on
Discord.
social.
Yeah.
I don't go on No Agenda Social very much. No Agenda Social is kind of weird.
It's very
weird.
Like
how Adam says, like blast off to the world. I don't want to do that. I want to talk to people one-on-one. I like having conversations with people. If I think of something funny, like at my job, and I've realized this as my mentality, where if I think of something funny, I want to say to this guy, and then as a cook, or if I'm a dishwasher, right? I want to say to the cook, and then to this cook, and then to this cook, and then to that other cook. Individually, I want to one-on-one tell my joke and get each interaction, rather than really loud say it all at once so everybody hears it. And there's a whole different aspect
system
to your comedy when you're searching for, when you want to blare your comedy versus when you want to go one-on-one and get a reaction here. You get a different reaction there. Why am I interested in what I'm doing versus some guys want to be funny in their own way and be really loud and they want everyone to hear their joke and I'm only going to do this one time.
Well, those people are called Italians.
I don't know what it is. It's a different way of doing it. Like a home run versus average hitter in baseball.
Well,
some guys hit 340 average.
You just like to get
Some
personal
guys
with somebody.
hit 210 average, but they knock 30 of them over the fence.
Everybody's got their own ways of communicating.
And
some
being
people
funny
can't,
or getting the job done and bringing runs in the plate.
Some people can't just like talk to one person. They can only talk to an invisible group that's in front of them, and that happens to be whoever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some guys can talk to an individual or a crowd or a radio audience or have a hard time doing different things. You're right.
I really like talking to metal rods. I put them really close to my face.
I don't have any experience with metal rods, Nick, but I don't know. I mean, I guess you don't like talking to rats because you talk to all these rats all the time, and they're a bunch of assholes. And you're like, hey, metal rod, you're a bunch of...
Can I ask you a question about your job really quick?
Tired of them.
Or do you not want to talk about work things right now?
Wait, say it again.
I heard that the job market is doing really well right now, but all I hear is everybody getting fired, laid off, or getting no raises, or there's nothing because there's a recession. But I keep hearing that there's a really good jobs.
You talk about the job market. I work in a restaurant, so I'm not sure if I know anything about the job market.
I think it's all attached some way. Restaurants are part of the job market.
Job market's more like, when you say job market, you're talking like stock traders and teachers and I don't know, people making money. Like I get paid by the hour.
Were you laid off or fired?
I get to wash dishes and cut potatoes and prep cook, and people in restaurants we don't worry about. What are you talking about?
Did you get fired because you were telling jokes to people?
No. Nobody got fired.
You got laid off?
No. Restaurants closing down.
Well, then you kind of got laid off then, and that's part of the job.
No. Restaurants closed. Everybody's going somewhere else.
Well, yeah, that's
we all just
30 lost
told.
jobs, maybe even more.
Yeah, we're all gonna follow each other. It'll work out.
You could start your own restaurant. I keep hearing these things about these because people do the online orders and they don't even know where they're ordering food from.
That's what I do when I go home. Because my stupid drunk ass goes home and I'm done working and I'm like, I'm tired. It's 3 a.m. What the fuck I want to order? Yeah, there's a ghost kitchen on DoorDash. Yeah. I get a burger 3 a.m. and here it comes. I overpay for that fucker. I don't care. I eat it, don't I? As long as the calories goes in me.
Yeah.
I don't care what I pay for it. It's a hard time sometimes.
You guys should open a ghost kitchen, like a work from home kitchen.
Nick, this is something I struggle with, right?
Yeah.
Because people eat. People talk about how hard it is to lose weight and how much they eat. Everybody's eating all the time.
Just don't drink beer all the time.
I have a hard time eating. I just don't understand. I can't eat. I'm drinking and smoking and I can't eat. I need to eat. I eat what I can eat, and I try to survive. And I'm trying to gain weight. I try to eat. I try to eat what I can eat. I'm moving around all the time. I work my ass off.
Why are you trying to gain weight?
That's why. When I eat, it doesn't matter. I'm still burning it off. I still have a heart condition, but eating doesn't help. I'm just burning it off. I'm trying to eat. I want to gain weight. I can't eat. I can't eat anyway because I'm smoking and drinking all, whatever.
I'd hate to suggest this, but there's somebody named, I think, Daedra near you. You could always eat her. I don't want to suggest that.
Right. You might be right. No, as long as she suggests the same idea, then
you might have to eat her.
What could I do at that point? And you are correct. It doesn't have to be my idea, Nick. It's Nick's idea or Deidre's idea, and I agree with you.
But the problem is, you probably not.
I need more nutrition, brother. I'm struggling with my nutrition. I work too hard and I'm not eating enough.
You gotta eat
Because
like broccoli
I can't
and
get
berries.
all of my calories out of beer and
Get
shit. Yeah, I do like broccoli. I like that you said that.
Get
broccoli is
yeah,
good.
broccoli is great. Get some broccoli and some onions.
And Deidre's just
Onions
sitting
are
on the
cool.
floor listening to her music right now. Stupid
Is that
music
copyrighted
too,
music?
Eh?
Caller, is that copyrighted music?
I don't know what. Yeah, probably.
Darn, we just lost that caller right there. I hope he's got a sharp knife. No, it's a good talk, caller. Let's take a quick music break, and we'll be right back. And we're going to thank some people for helping to make this episode of Nick the Rat Radio a reality. Nick the Rat Radio reality. Actually, maybe there's another voicemail I could play. Actually, stop saying that. Jeez. Sorry, there's just so many voicemails that I have to like. We'll be right back. Let's.
Oh, look. Dude, it's Billy here, and I got a joke for you. What does the sign on the whorehouse say? Beat it, we're closed.
Something about a whorehouse closing. Beat it, we're closed. Let's listen to Herbal Voltage with My Lofi. We'll be right back. Yeah, it is. Hello? Hi. Ahem. Ahem. Hi. We're going to thank some people. Discord chat's going through there. Yeah, this is all through a whole bunch of different systems. We're going to thank some people. Got a P.O. box. P.O. box. Moderating is too much work. Don't be an asshole. Let's see here. Nick Radio, P.O. Box 90549, Brooklyn, New York 11209. Let's see if we have anything in the mail. The account number. How do you make these fake checks? Sir, Mike Roch, PhD. Memo 2 times 3 times 7. That's 6, 42. Make 42 and chargebacks. 2 and 37/100. Thank you for that. March 1st, March 1st. $2.37. Thank you so much, Dr. Sir Mike Rochovich. We have a couple more here. I can see Will in Discord, but not in chat. Oh, maybe Discord. Maybe Discord's fucked. Discord is not on Twitch. Maybe, yeah. I guess. I don't know. Let's open the second letter here. Let's see what's in here. We like the bologna. Is that how Johnny Carson did it? He was one of the greats. Inflation adjusted chargeback from Dr. Sir Mike Rochovich, $0.69. 237 and 69 is about $4 almost. Or 3. Almost 3. Thank you so much, Sir Mike Roch. Oh, look at this one. We got one of the fun rippers. Happy bot chatting. That's what I'm starting to do. I got my old account back, and I got a new account too, because I had to play video games and talk to people. Thanks for your show, Sir Crostitch. $5 and $100. $5. Thank you so much, Sir Crostitch. Now that's a quality check right there. And finally, we have. This is a mystery envelope here. Let's open this one slow. I think I already know this. Okay, now, yeah. I can tell by the weight once I pull this thing out. I'm going to have so many of these $2 bills. You rock. Love. Tomononymous. You rock. He it's his 420. It's two $2 bills and a dime strapped to each one right over the face of the president. You can't really see it because there we go. That's a. Thank you, Tommy. What year were these printed? heard $2 bills, if they're printed like in the 1400s, they're worth a lot of money. They almost don't even feel real because they were definitely never used. Where's the date? 1776? All right, I'm rich. I have a huge stack of them. I feel like Steve Wozniak, who claims he prints his own $2 bills or some shit. So yeah, we got a P.O. box. You could also go to nicktherat.com and click on donate, and there's a donate button, and you could use PayPal to do this part. If you want to donate there, I read your initials and the amount you donated and any notes you attached. See if there's any donations this week. Wrong email box. Yeah, I had to make a new email. My old email was claimed to be attached to hateful speech. And it deleted about 20 years of my life right there. No, I'm joking. Could happen, though. Looks like we do have 2 donations here. We have NW420. Thank you so much, NW. You've been around for a long time, Mr. NW, or Mrs. NW, or whoever NW. Thank you. Thank you for your sewer patronage. And IF comes back again. IF is turning into the extreme patron saint of the sewer. 3763 from IF. And there's a note here. Let's take a little sip here. First, cheers to you, IF. Do. Steadily talking shit down in the sewer. Your breath's so funky, just like manure. That is the word on my favorite turd. Haters be hating on the rat, man, because haters always hate what they fail to understand. Almost did it perfect. Fucked up on the fall part. Thank you so much, IF, for the money. Wow, that's pretty. Those are big numbers, man. Thank you so much. And also, I just want to say, before I get to the next part of the donation segment, which is Twitch, and I thank them. In a couple weeks, I'm going to be having an interview with Shannon Taggart. I think I'm saying that right there. She has a book called Seance. It's going to be a fun interview. Should be happening soon. If you have any questions for her, let me know. Something to look forward to. Let's see here for Twitch. Looks like Ducky on. Is there a Ducky off too? Resub with their Prime. They've been subbed for 44 months. That happened 52 minutes ago. If you have Amazon Prime and you want to give me a free $3 or something a month, go over to Amazon Prime /Twitch/Nick the Rat and hit subscribe or something. Thank you so much for everybody's donations. 44 months, yeah. 44 moths. 44 mouths all up in here. Thank you so much to everybody that has donated. It's very appreciated. It lets me know that there's people out there. And the only thing better than getting donations is getting like these really gigantic deals with mega corporations. So we're going to play some of those ads, and then we're going to hop into a song. We're going to listen to I Think We're Alone Now by Johnny and the Creeps right after this commercial break. Thank you for being a friend.
At Delta, we could talk about our airplanes, some of the best maintained, most modern birds in the sky, or our schedules, over 1,500 flights a day worldwide, or our flight centers, the airports of the future. But none of that is as important as people. And when it comes to the Delta professionals, the people who make Delta as great as it is, well, one smile is worth 1,000 words. Delta gets you there.
Billy, for the last time, you have to eat your lunch. Now, put it all in your mouth, chew it, and swallow, just like I told your dad to do last night.
But, Ma, I'm sick of your peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I think I have malnutrition, and the kids at school are making fun of me because I'm malnutrition!
Well, I've heard this story before. A lot of people have problems feeding their kids properly. So why don't you pick up the new bottle of dark sewer mayonnaise? That's right. We've got all 52 flavors of mayo that you crave. Your kids crave it too. We could tell because, they told us so. So next time your kid's starting to bitch about their plain old peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, slap a slather of dark sewer mayo on top of that and watch his face light up as it drips down his chin with white gooiness, just like your husband last night. Order now for only $69.99 from Dark Sewer Network. Tell them that Brody sent you. Ha ha!
Oh boy.
Children behave. That's what they say when we're together. Watch how you play. They don't understand, and so we're running just as fast as we can, holding on to one another's hand, trying to get away into the night. And then you put your arms around me as we tumble to the ground, and then you say, I think we're alone now. There doesn't seem to be anyone around. I think we're alone now. The beating of our hearts is the only sound. Look at the way we gotta hide what we're doing. 'Cause what would they say if they ever knew? And so we're running just as fast as we can, holding on to one another's hand, trying to get away into the night. And then you put your arms around me as we tumble to the ground, and then you say, I think we're alone now. There doesn't seem to be anyone around. I think we're alone now. The beating of our hearts is the only sound. I think we're alone now. There doesn't seem to be anyone around. I think we're alone now. There doesn't seem to be anyone around. I think we're alone now. There doesn't seem to be anyone around. I think we're alone now. There doesn't seem to be anyone
Hello?
Oh, hey, Nick the Rat. It's Keyboard Kevin, and I've got a joke for you.
What?
Why did Mozart
Hello?
kill his chicken?
Hello?
Because he always run around going,
Hi.
bark, 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 bark.
Hi, sorry, there's a crossing of wires going on over here, I think. Hello?
Hi.
I'm very high.
Same.
Maybe.
You wanna you wanna hear some ducks?
Do you work in a kitchen? Is that like the ducks you're gonna eat? Or are those like
No.
wild duck?
No, I take their young pre-birth and eat them.
So you're like a duck witch?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I call this a very important message for a very important human.
I'm all ears. I'm actually not all ears. I'm about 10% ears, maybe.
Yeah, I've seen the videos. I know.
What about these? What is the message?
Happy birthday, Rocket!
Making duck bologna Oscar it? Happy birthday to somebody. Oh, Oscar it. Happy birthday, Oscar it. Happy birthday, Oscar it. Happy 22nd birthday, right? Hello, caller north of the south. Coming from south of the north.
It's pretty accurate. Yeah. Definitely north of south. That was a good cover of that song. It's a guilty pleasure track.
Oh yeah, I love it. And whenever I can play for free, I will.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Bing.
Mm-hmm.
Bing.
Or do you like coins? You want coins? I'll give you a coin instead.
Mario, is that you?
It's a me.
This is some Mario.
It's a me. Wario. Sounds nothing like Wario.
Caller, have you had a paranormal experience ever?
Yes.
Can you share it with us?
I, one time, got home from a late loadout, was kind of milling about, smoking and drinking, winding down, and around 3 o'clock, I got this rush that started in my toes and worked all the way up to my head. It felt like a little 22 went off in my brain. I kind of caught myself as I took a stumble in the kitchen. I saw this like big black shadow just kind of rush by the doorway in the dining room, and I said, I should probably go to bed. So I went and laid down, and all I tasted was copper. I could like feel myself sink into the bed, but simultaneously like rising out of it. And it was trippy. The next day, I got word from a good, one of my crew guys. And he said someone that we had toured together had just passed away over the night. And it was very, very creepy. That's pretty spooky. There was another.
I actually just shit my pants. I can change them later. I've never had anything like that.
It was spooky.
Did it change the way you perceived life?
No. I think I was already fairly much on board beforehand.
So it was like an affirmation or something.
A continuation of experiences that had already happened, but this one was by far the most intense.
Somebody had the same thing happen with a bagel. That's weird. How do you have a paranormal experience with a bagel?
A lot of times it would just be kind of innocuous stuff, like come back to the bar and your head's ringing. It's like the shinning. And then when you get there, your boss, whose name is Marty, is talking to another guy at the bar that he just met, whose name is Marty. Little stupid stuff like that. It's fun. Sometimes it's a little bit of a day wrecker. There was another time we were in the Electric City, and we were playing a Freemason theater. Yeah, Scranton.
Scranton, Ohio?
Pennsylvania, man.
Electric City.
Yeah.
Why is it called that, Porky?
Scranton, the Electric City.
It's the Electric City? It's the Electric City? Scranton?
Yeah. Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Scranton, Ohio?
Pennsylvania. Here.
Pennsylvania, Electric.
You got a big old sign there. Yeah, a big old sign that lights up. I used to have pictures of it, but someone broke into my hotel room and stole my hard drive with all of my tour photos.
There's probably the electric goblins.
Yeah,
What's
that's why you
what
gotta
is
use
electric city? What does that mean?
you gotta use ground-based attacks, ground-based sieges.
Ah, hairy legs.
I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the water. Hey, baby, how old are you?
Caller, do you have any opinions on the January 6th Buffalo Man?
Fed.
He's fed?
Yeah.
He's taking a
That's
4-year
what I
fall. He's
think.
probably getting paid by somebody.
Doesn't even have to get paid. It could be some fucking hapless schlub that they just beamed in the fucking instructions and good to go. Never said they had to be witting participants.
I think he was.
I don't know.
Well, you said he's a Fed, though. So a Fed would be a willing participant. Or are you just saying like a set up Fed? Like the Fed set somebody up, or he was a Fed?
Could be a Fed, could be Manchurian candidate. Yeah, it could just be straight up classic spook.
He could also just been crazy. Did he have a day job? Did anybody did anybody interview his friends?
He was
like,
an actor. He was an actor.
They're like, oh, Joe, what was his name? Joe Buffalo. He's a cool guy.
I don't know, man. Just all of this, the QAnon stuff, it's just such a energy vampire for the people that want to lambast it across Facebook saying, oh my God, the end is here. Can you believe these crazy conspiracy kooks running around their buffalo costumes, threatening the very structure of democracy itself? And then you got fucking Tucker Carlson. I mean, that guy makes me want to fucking eat corn the long way.
You want to eat corn the long way?
I'd rather do that
off
than
the
listen to
cob?
Tucker Carlson. Yeah, corn on the cob. It doesn't even fucking raw corn, man.
I like cutting the corn off. I like eating it the fast way. I want to have to like work around it. I feel like it's like working on a 3D model when you have to eat corn off the cob. You have to go like I have to turn this shit and fucking look at it from different angles, and I just want the corn. I just want to eat it. So I cut that shit right off the cob. I scoop it into my gullet and gobble it down. A little bit of butter, pepper, salt, shit.
Salt.
Mayo.
That was cute. But no, I'm not really about it, man. It's just so much of a energy sink.
Oh, I wrote
on both sides.
I wrote something about politics. I wrote something. You want to hear it?
Yes, please.
All right. I have to find out where I wrote it though. Hold on one second. Because oh, there it is. Okay. I wrote it while I was really high today, and I thought it meant a lot. Okay, here goes. Politics is all carrot dangling. Politics is all carrot dangling.
Poly meaning Latin, ticks, small blood sucking creatures.
It's all everybody's just dangling carrots. There's no facts or truth or kindness or well-being. It's just carrots. And
that's the thing. That's the thing that really kills me about I'd say a lot of the conservative focused talking head pundits leaning into the online personalities is all these people are so fucking cringy. These are your saviors. These are the people that's going to be giving you the truth. Give me a break.
Whoa, it's midnight in the sewer. And breaks will be given. I know it's pretty ridiculous, the situation. But then again, could life get any better? Like
I I'm incredibly happy with a lot of things that are going on. I think there's a lot of exciting things that are coming down the pipeline.
What would make you happier? Like what is life missing? Or do you just want to see
A
the eradicate?
boostable podcasting 2.0 video live stream from Nick the Rat.
I guess you're right. That's the government holding me back. I'd do it, but I might get arrested.
Hey, that's where all the thrill is.
It'll happen soon. I'm working on some cool stuff too, and maybe I can integrate it into things that you're talking about.
Well, so I've been kind of listening to your Discord woes, and I will save some of my more colorful-minded language about the way I feel of Discord. To sum it up, I'm not really a fan.
It's pretty much every sharing service is going to become a government spying tool.
I just, I wonder about. I've been playing around in a Matrix instance. I was curious if they did video calls because he said something about playing video games with people that assume. So that tells me that you're trying to do video calls with.
It's not a video call. Basically, I just need audio and chat. I need IRC with, but it's just good to have a whole. It's a helpful thing to play games, not for video. It's just for audio.
But if you can have your own where you set up your own rules about it, I mean,
meh.
How is that not a net positive?
Just talking about killing digital dudes. And I don't need to set a server up. I'm just like, hey, I'm going to shoot some digital dude over here. You want to shoot a digital dude too? All right, we could communicate about shooting these digital dudes. I don't need to change the world. I don't need to make a whole new community.
But you have Nick the Rat. Oh my goodness.
Sergeant.
Do you know how many
Sergeant Disco? What is it called? Sergeant Wilco.
I feel
Sergeant
like.
Wilco.
Do you want to know my honest take?
What is that?
You want to know my honest take? I feel like there are more shows that hold true to the Nick the Rat lifestyle than there are shows that do no agenda.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think I think you've really touched a lot of people out there.
At least myself. Oh, are you using dark sewer mayonnaise right now?
It's delicious. 52 flavors.
I can hear it. I can hear it. I just like I like culture. I like communicating and sharing information, and that's
an excellent point. Being just the way that you set up your own chat overlay for the video stream, it's brilliant. I love it. It's so fucking cool.
It's just IRC and OBS,
and that's the cool thing. I feel like if you sort of shake off the companies that have proven time and time again that they are very incredibly poor stewards of just hosting content in general, I feel like moving outside of that, there's a lot of avenues for untempered, unlimited power.
Well, there is going to be like a mesh network one day. Like a true mesh network. Where it'll just be like peer-to-peer globally. In like some weird mesh network. That's the goal, isn't it?
I guess it really just depends on who's got the keys.
Well, if you're using in Intel, then whoever is in control of Microsoft, because there's always that back door right in the processor itself. But if it's like a true mesh network, and it could be like any, I guess it's like ham radio. Ham radio, is that free? Who gives a crap if it's free or not? Like, no, I understand. I'm not fucking. I want to see what they're doing too. And I don't think it's fair if you get kicked off of something for no good reason. Also, I don't give a fuck either.
See, that's where I do take disagreement with you because
You should, because I'm drunk and
think,
high, and I barely know what I said.
I think it bugs you more than you wanted to admit right there.
Oh, well,
And
I
it's
think
fair. I mean, like, we at some point, a lot of people put a lot of time and work
yeah,
towards those platforms, but they are the end all, be all arbiters of what goes on.
all they really are is
So-
just a bunch of hard drives. It's like we had enough money to buy this many hard drives for all you idiots.
But they got them plugged into their wall. I mean, they got the keys to it.
But
That's
just
their box of cheese that
it's
they got
like-
all the keys
Did
for.
you ever hear that website where you could download RAM from? That's sort of what's going on.
Did it link out to downloading a house? I don't understand. How do you download RAM?
Exactly. It's you could host your own everything. It's just a matter of a little bit of knowledge and then constant barrages of assholes because you don't want to host it out of your own house. So you have to host it out of somebody else's house. But if you host anything outside of anybody else's house, then they're going to be liable to the government and they'll just give you up for anything. But you're liable to the government too. And the thing is, the government should be liable to the government as well. And we are the government. So I should be able to see what you're sharing whenever you're sharing. There should be zero privacy in society.
I feel like if it was something that you could opt into, sure. Which, I mean, who has time to read the terms of service?
I don't think I've
Sounds
ever
like you
read
already
that.
got what you want. You just got to be on the right side, the right side of the servers.
There should be a forced thing for these TOSs with like a bulleted version, like a fucking quick notes with links.
Clippy.
Like like a quick fact, like, hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is what we're telling you in here. If you want more information, if you want to read the giant chunk of text, it's here. But this is about A, B, C, D, E. I don't know. Those shits, they're big. They're big.
I don't know. I feel the same about all of them except for MySpace. I feel like it's just Disney fucking Playland nonsense.
Yeah. It's also the news too, though. It's weird.
Like where to consume news from?
It's nothing really matters. Nothing matters. What matters? And could they make a social network about that? Maybe.
I mean,
community, like a community billboard.
Isn't that kind of what a RSS feeds are?
No, because that's not a community. I mean, like a physical board. Because you go digital, there's bots and shit. There's no truth involved. But you can have a physical.
Oh, you just go to the bar for that. That's the thing. Like, you're not going to see that fucking billboard at Dave and Buster's. You'll catch it at like Lula's pub or something.
Exactly. Now that's what I'm talking about. Now that.
Sure. I am always like hands down fucking sticker campaign that shit. Fucking business cards, community boards. Hell yeah.
The AI is taking over. But it's not really the AI. It's like one or two douchebags sitting behind their computers.
And that's another thing. I feel like it's really just the balloon stuff, the Ukraine, the AI, Jan 6, COVID. It's just energy vampires trying to get the clicks. They need the engagement. in order for the magic to work. And I don't know.
Is there a head vampire? Do you know who these? Do you have any names for them?
Paul McCartney.
Paul. All right, we have to. Let's get stakes and fun. We're coming for you, Paul. Oh, wait, I can't. I'm gonna get kicked off the internet. I'm joking, Paul.
See, like it's so to worry about stuff like that. Like that's not. I don't know. I feel like that's not what this is about. Joking aside,
we're coming for not Elton John. What's the guy in the Beatles? John, who had sex with the Japanese screaming woman.
Lennon.
John Lennon. We're coming for you, John Lennon, with the stakes. If you come back to life. Yeah, I could say that because he's already, Paul McCartney's still alive.
Desecration.
If he comes back to life, it's not desecration. That's self-defense.
Finishing the job.
Oh, sweat. Caller.
Yes.
You ever get that feeling between your legs like you have to use the bathroom?
All the time.
Let's listen to this next song right here. It is called Catch Me If You Can by Ploy. What kind of name is that? Thank you, caller, for the call. Ah.
Paris to LA, then Texas, left a little trail of exes. I'll be on a plane by breakfast or river. Thanks a lot. Scratch another off my checklist. One more diamond on my necklace. Jealous, judge me. I'm the best. You don't know what you got. Tree boys with real good manners, hustlers from Louisiana, all go crying to their mamas when I leave. C'est la vie. Here tonight, gone by day. I live my life like a runaway. You can try, maybe wanna stay. Catch it if you can, now I run away.
Fuck that shit!
It was a dark and stormy night in the forest, and Bigfoot was hungry. He had been wandering for days without a meal, and his stomach was growling with hunger. As he roamed through the woods, he caught a whiff of something delicious. It was the scent of a rat, and he knew he had to have it. Bigfoot began chasing the rat through the underbrush, his massive feet pounding the ground with each step. The rat darted left and right, weaving through the trees and jumping over fallen logs. But Bigfoot was relentless, and he pursued his prey with a single-minded determination. As he closed in on the rat, Bigfoot could feel his mouth watering with anticipation. He could already taste the succulent meat, seasoned with his own saliva. But as he reached out to grab the rat, something unexpected happened. The rat turned around and attacked him with a fierce flurry of kung fu moves. It was like nothing Bigfoot had ever seen before. The rat was like a tiny Bruce Lee, fueled by some kind of mysterious power. Bigfoot was caught off guard, and the rat managed to land several blows on him before he could react. But Bigfoot was no pushover. He was a creature of immense strength and power, and he fought back with all his might. The battle raged on for what felt like hours, each combatant landing blow after blow on the other. The forest echoed with the sounds of their struggle, the clash of flesh on flesh, the snapping of bones, and the roar of Bigfoot's fury. In the end, Bigfoot emerged victorious. The rat lay broken and battered on the forest floor, his lifeblood seeping out into the earth. But even as Bigfoot stood over his vanquished foe, he knew that he had paid a heavy price. The rat had been using drugs to power his kung fu moves, and Bigfoot had ingested some of them during the fight. As the drugs coursed through his massive body, he felt his strength waning, his muscles weakening. And then, with a final shudder, he collapsed to the ground, dead. The rain continued to fall, washing away the blood and sweat of the battle. And as the storm clouds rolled overhead, the forest fell silent once more, save for the soft patter of raindrops on leaves. The moral of the story is to always be on drugs, just in case a Bigfoot smells your filthy ass and eats you up. The end.
Oh, hey, Nick the Rat, Jim and Jimmy. I got a joke for you. You know the difference between a rock guitarist and a jazz guitarist? One of them plays 3 chords in front of 3,000 people, and one of them plays 3,000 chords in front of 3 people.
I don't get it.
March 1st voicemail 2.0 part 2. What I was cut off by saying, I know missing Miss Diane, anyway, Diane. So I bought a 12-pack variety pack of sleeping bags for you. I don't know if they'll keep you as warm as Diane did, but they're lubricated and I can help you roll them on if you need to, before we go camping. Keep that little tail out so we can rescue you when needed on the spelunking. But some of them even have flavors and little textures, and it looked like fun. And I thought about you, and always double up. Actually don't. They're more prone to break. But anyway, if it protects your little claws, we don't want the sewage smells or fecal transplant. Never mind. I'm giving too much detail. No one called and asked for this. I love you, Nick. Call me later. I think I'll have the phone on vibrate or laying on it or something like that. Maybe in the prison pocket. I've never been to prison. Have you? That's a good question for...
South of the equator. North of the equator, right? South?
North of the... What?
South of the north. It's north. North of Fist of the North Star.
Is your show bipolar?
tripolar. I got weed all over my pants.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah. Tripolar.
Tripod dry.
How are you?
Confused about where AI is going. It's not really artificial intelligence. It's more like
Shouldn't they just?
it's like a computer.
Shouldn't they
It's like a tool.
Shouldn't they just call it Al because it looks like Al?
They could, yeah. Al. Got Al in my pocket. It's like a cell phone was a giant change in society, but it was it was just still like a computer. And like AI, they're like, oh, it's a huge thing, but it's just a computer. It's just ones and zeros. Nothing really too real.
Like I feel that it's another quantum computer BS line of it's getting one day it's going to be here. It's going to take over for all of us.
Well, it's gonna be cool. I think the coolest thing coming from AI is gonna be like a video game where the story just makes itself on the fly.
Do you think it will feel
Will it be fun? Probably not, but it'll be interesting.
no, well,
It'd be fun.
Will it be phony though?
It'll be better than what we have now. You'll be able to play a role-playing game with a character that you don't know if they're good or evil, and they'll build a story with you as you play the game and talk to it and do things. Sure, the things you're gonna have to, you still have to type it. Actually, maybe you could just fucking talk into a microphone to it. By that point, you'll talk into a microphone. It'll translate it to some text. The text will go to the AI. The AI will make a character based on whatever the fuck you're saying, and it'll be so the fucking graphic cards could pump it out in real time. It'll be cool.
You're gonna need some sort of bank of 4090s in your tower or something like that.
Yeah.
And then your lights will dim as you fire up your system.
Yeah, it's basically just gonna be like one of those like stable diffusion that you could talk to, and the computer processing power will be. It'll happen on the fly instead of having to wait a couple minutes. See, like, I want to be on a sled going down a mountain, doing whatever. You could, with a person next to me that looks like my dead grandfather, and he's talking about taking a shit in a pot during the winter, 1943.
Oh.
And it'll be like, okay, it'll be kind of like the
What's
holodeck, sort of, but not as good as the holodeck.
Dead grandpa sledding with the shit, and
It'll be like the holodeck on your screen. It'll be like a video game holodeck.
I had Warp Factor 1, I guess.
Did you ever have a paranormal experience?
Paranormal. I don't know if they're exactly paranormal experiences, but weird things that happen and noises like possibly could be conveyed as paranormal.
Were these recorded noises, or did you hear them without recording them?
I heard them without recording them, so maybe it's a psychosis.
Could be. I've heard tons of stuff that wasn't real.
Yeah, I guess.
Have you ever heard like somebody calling your name in your head, or hearing a noise that you think is something, but it's not? You're like, oh, I got it. Let me listen to that again, and then you're like, nope, that's just something else. I don't even know what the fuck that
I
was.
know that happens a lot, like in video games when I'm listening, because I won't. I don't like playing video games with headphones on, so I use a surround sound speaker system. But sometimes I'll be like playing those, and then I gotta like mute it for a second because I'm like, what is that? What is it? And it ends up being something in the game. And it freaks me out a little bit when it first happens. So might be because of some sort of chemical substance that I'm taking at the time, but
So it's the drugs.
maybe
Cool.
they're paranormal. They're speaking to you. And by the way, drugs are bad.
Oh, they're not horrible. They are what you make of them. Some drugs are really bad. I would say mushrooms and weed are okay. Ish. They're okay-ish. Alcohol
under the ish category.
a lot of drugs are pretty bad. That's why it's like it would be cool if they were legal, but also not. Like, can you imagine America with legalized everything?
Ooh, yeah, I don't know.
That would just kind of be like making the problem come up front, but then the government would profit off of it. Would they profit more off of it than they are by doing law enforcement?
Do you think that that's like a recipe for like destruction or failure of that government?
No, I actually have no idea. Like, if they legalize drugs, you would have to go to like a place to get it. Like, would you be like, I want PCP, I want meth, and they would just give you a bag of it? I don't know if you'd probably have to do it in a room or something. There'd still be a black market, I'm sure, because you don't want to go do it in a room with somebody. You want to go lay out on the street naked, jumping on top of cars. See, it's very strange. But I guess you would find the people that are getting naked dancing on cars because of meth, bring them into the clinic, and they could do it there. And if they have the money for it, or is it going to be, or do you have to pay? I don't know.
It sounds like, a few million views on YouTube if you
live stream it.
Create a YouTube channel for it.
You could do drugs legally as long as and for free, as long as you're streaming it live. And there'll be ads for other drugs, like the drug they're doing. It'd be like heroin by Johnson & Johnson.
Plus ads to get off of it or something, or maybe just to confuse the watcher.
It's strange that we can't live life because we're scared of it. It's like we can't live a real life. There's reality happening that is not spoken about, or it's like hidden away. It's dirty. You can't talk about that. You can't hide that shit away.
Are you talking like the dregs of society kind of aspect?
That's not what you see on TV. On TV, you see cops shooting bad guys or dumb people having sex or something. It's not really reality.
No. Well, they have reality television, but
that's not
really real. No,
it's not. It's a commercial for.
No, that's it. Yeah, and you can see the formula in all of them because there's like that moment right before they go to a commercial where something happens, or they're like, when they cut the commercials, so just so they can suck you on.
See, and that's why on Nick the Rat podcast, I like to follow that formula.
Oh, yeah. They have the...
Let's listen to Bowser's theme by Dreamger.
Black slim suits with new super Seward band, son. Fuck you.
In the morning to you, sir. Nick the Rat.
The phone lines are now open. Call Nick the Rat and tell him where the reptoid touched you. East of the Rockies, call 917-719-5923. West of the Rockies, also call 917-719-5923. If you are deep inside the Rocky Mountains, you probably work for a government agency or are a mole person. We would like to hear from you. Call 917-719-5923.
There's another drug. Another drug they don't tell you is a drug. It's a class 4 narcotic, alcohol. And the only warning they have on a bottle of alcohol is don't drink this if you're pregnant. Bullshit, that's how you got pregnant, number one. And alcohol is especially dangerous for people like myself, alcoholics. Or you can say ethanol challenge, whatever you want to call it.
I found out that someone tells you to break a leg before an audition because they hope you end up in a cast.
No!
The pandemic created at least 40 new big pharma billionaires. Pharmaceutical corporations like Moderna and Pfizer made $1,000 of profit every second from the COVID-19 vaccine. More than two-thirds of Congress received campaign funding from pharmaceutical companies in the 2020 election. Pfizer chairman Albert Bourla told Time magazine in July 2020 that his company was developing a COVID vaccine for the good of humanity, not for money. And of course, Pfizer made $100 billion in profit in 2022. And may I just mention, finally, and this is also a fact, that you, the American public, funded the development of that. The German public funded the BioNTech vaccine. When it came to the profits, they took the profits. When it came to the funding, you paid for the funding.
TV show Pilot is called a pilot because it's the first time it's on air.
What?
Bill Gates did not invent anything. The basic program was made by some mathematics professors in a college. The office operating system was by a software engineer, and he bought it for $50,000. He's built the empire by creating patents on software. And the first WTO meeting in Singapore gave him tax concessions, which is why all the IT industry moved to India. The fact that Silicon Valley became India's Silicon Valley is because they could save $40 billion annually, paying lower wages for the same work. It was an outsourcing of software, all for Bill Gates. And then he started to put some of his money into philanthropy. And everyone thinks, wow, he's such a generous man. He gives so much. I've done an analysis in the book. Every place he gives to is his former future markets.
He went to the market doesn't mean the pig went grocery shopping. It means the pig literally went to the market.
One of the worst things about TV, specifically these shows like Grey's Anatomy and House, and especially House, and about the our culture's reverence for experts. It's like if somebody's an expert in a field, they're like, you know, anything they say is like from King Solomon or something. It can't be questioned. The veracity of experts, you can't question the veracity of experts, especially in like, it's crazy that you can't do that with finance, like the fields where it's like the anyway. So doctors and nurses now, the really annoying thing is that they have this sitcom sense of humor. I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but doctors and nurses have a sitcom sense of humor. So if you ask them a question, a serious question, something like, is it true that there's heavy metals in vaccines? Are you sure that you should be giving a brain-altering medication to a 6-year-old? Questions like that. You know, you ask them questions like that, and they hit you back with, and what medical school did you get a degree from?
Pinterest is called Pinterest because you pin your interest.
My electric bill is like $690.
That's pretty much all the information I needed now. I will transfer this call real quick to my supervisor. He's going to quickly verify this information just to make sure we are not making any clerical mistakes.
Sure.
Please stay on the line.
Thank you for your help.
This is Chris from Get Solar. How are you voting good?
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing great. We are providing information and codes about solar. Do you own a house?
I do.
All right, and how much you pay for your electric bill? It's like 100 or more?
It's been close to like $600.
All right, and what is the name of your electric company?
Con Edison.
I got it, and I do believe your credit score is good, about 680 points. Your credit score is good?
My credit score is close to 800. It's like 769.
All right, so what's your name? Who am I talking to?
My name is Nick.
Nick, also.
Yes.
And what's your address?
My address is. Hold on. Let me ask your mother, because I live with your mom right now.
He's asking my mom about that.
Yeah, Mr. Mike's mom. Where do we live? Oh man, I guess I'll have to go back and tap that ass some more there.
When someone tells you to hold your horses, they're telling you to be stable.
No!
Like a stable. Hold horses.
Say that Elon Musk was standing on top of TikTok's headquarters, and he consensually asks me to pee on him. And he wants me to pee on him so hard that my body lifts off the ground and shoots off to the moon. How much force would that take? Well, this is actually an easier question than the previous question I did, which was how to piss on the moon from a vantage point on Earth. If I wanted to use Elon as my personal piss space launch platform, I would need to produce 98 newtons of thrust for every 10 kilograms of mass I have. The average body mass of a North American person is 80 kilograms. So that means you would need to pee with 784 newtons of force right onto Elon Musk's face in order to lift yourself off the ground and get yourself past the atmosphere, past escape velocity, and get yourself to the moon. Again, we are just assuming that you have calculated your trajectories correctly. Again, the average human urethra of 8 millimeters in diameter. Force equals area times pressure. You are looking at just about under 1,000 kilograms per centimeter square of pressure, or 14,213 pounds per square inch. Fire hoses fire with an average of 150 pounds per square inch, meaning that you would need to pee onto Elon Musk's face on top of TikTok headquarters with the force of approximately 95 fire hoses firing at full blast all at once, all coming straight out of your pee hole. And that should be enough to lift you off the ground at escape velocity, past the atmosphere, and out into space toward the moon. So yes, provided that you could pee at a superhuman pressure, you could in fact launch your body to the moon just by consensually peeing on Elon Musk's face and TikTok headquarters.
I hope you'll excuse me, but while I light this joint, I'd like to sort of push the set back where it was. Okay.
And I had these terrible headaches, was diagnosed with having anyway, they had to take the top of my head off a couple times, see if I had a brain.
Sand is called sand because it's in between the sea and land. Sand.
In around 1973, I became convinced for a while that I was receiving messages from outer space. But then a psychic reader told me I was actually channeling an ancient Chinese philosopher, and another psychic reader told me I was channeling a medieval Irish bard. And at that time, I started reading neurology, and I decided it was just my right brain talking to my left brain. And then I went to Ireland, and I found out it was actually a 6-foot-tall white rabbit. They call it the puka, and the Irish know all about it. So it depends on who I'm talking to, which of these metaphors I use to explain where these weird patterns come from that jump out of the books and take hold of the readers and change their lives. It's not me. It's a 6-foot-tall white rabbit from County Kerry. Or it's the right hemisphere of everybody's brain.
Mm-hmm.
We're only different in the left hemisphere. In the right hemisphere, we all share in the same morphogenetic field.
The collective unconscious.
And the collective unconscious.
Let me share you my own experience. When I was young, I had panic attacks. Although I was born in the right middle of the Himalayan mountain, the area, the village, wonderful, but panic followed me as like shadow. And I have so much fear for strangers. I cannot go out and meet people. And a lot of storms in the Himalayan mountain, thunderstorm, snowstorm, these storms drive me crazy. And when I was 9 years old, I asked my father to teach me meditation. Luckily, He was a great meditation teacher. And the first thing what he said is, don't try to fight with the panic. Don't try to get rid of panic. And actually he said, you don't have to. Why? Awareness is like sky in the mountain, and the panic is like storm in the mountain, like cloud. And no matter how storm is, it doesn't change the nature of sky. So sky is always present, pure, calm. Similarly, our fundamental quality of mind, awareness, is always present, pure, calm. But the problem is we don't know how to connect with awareness. What we see, only thought, emotion, that's all. So he said there are 3 steps of practice to connect with awareness. The first one, we have to use an object, support, to connect with awareness. So this is one of my first meditation technique, what I learned from my father. So you can join and you can relax your muscles in your body. If you cannot relax, also okay, allowed. And close your eyes and please listen to sound. And when you hear the sound through ear and mind together, that is the meditation. And let panic come and go. Let pizza come and go. And maybe 2 pizza, 3 pizza, 10 pizzas. As long as if you remember the sound, you can have pizza. Okay, how was it? Did you hear the sound? Yes, raise your hand. Great. That is the meditation. Very easy. Just hear, that's all. You don't have to do anything. So if panic comes, let panic come and go. Don't care, just listen to sound. Monkey mind comes, blah, 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 let it come and go. Just listen to sound. So I did that. But I have a big problem. The problem is lazy. I'm lazy boy. I love the idea of meditation, but I don't like the practice of meditation. So on and off like that for 5 years. When I was 13 years old, in India, there's traditional 3-year retreat going to start. I thought I should join this because good for my laziness. And I joined. The first month, wonderful, not lazy. Second month, lazy come back. Now what happened, my lazy and my panic, they two become good friends. The life in the retreat become disaster. And I thought I should leave, but I feel embarrassed to leave because I told all my childhood friends that I can do the retreat, I don't want to lose my face. But if I stay, almost 3 years to go, then I thought, what should I do? In the end, I decided to learn how to live with the panic. So now we have this second step, what we call, actually, we can meditate everywhere, anytime, with anything. So you can meditate with the panic. How to do that? Just like listen to sound. When you listen to sound, sound becomes support for your meditation. Now you can watch panic. If you see the panic, great. What we call, when you see the river, you're out of river. When you see the mountain, you're out of mountain. So now awareness becomes more than panic, more than depression, stress, monkey mind, whatever. Let them come, let them go. So that is the first benefit. And second benefit, what we call, there's a wisdom comes. So when you look at the panic is not solid stone anymore. Panic becomes pieces. Sensation here, frightened image, voice, background belief. And if you take one of these away, you cannot find panic. So what I call panic become like shaving foam, look like piece of rock, but inside full of bubbles. Then 3, what I call, this is acceptance, like self-kind, self-love, self-compassion. You let panic come and go, that's the really acceptance, isn't it? So 3 in 1, awareness, love and compassion, wisdom, sometimes what I call, buy 1, get 2 free.
You have some morning sex, eat a great breakfast, go for a motorcycle ride, come back, swim, have more sex, eat some more, hang out for a little bit, maybe do some reading, go see a movie, have more sex, go to the bar, have a couple of drinks, see some friends, take a motorcycle ride, get home, hang out a little bit, have more sex. That's a pretty good day.
How can you have energy companies that profit when there's an energy crisis, military-industrial complex that profits when it's a war, pharmaceutical companies that profit when there's a pandemic? You're creating the necessity for ongoing crisis.
Yes.
If the elites in the society benefit from situations that are detrimental to everybody else, that's what reality's going to become. That's what reality has become.
That's such an important point, because that's almost undeniable. And to say that they wouldn't do that because they value human life and morals and ethics over profit, that's never been exhibited. That's not true. That's not a true statement. No, the opposite is true. The opposite is provable. The opposite is provable, whether it's Halliburton or whether it's pharmaceutical companies or whether it's politicians or bankers. The opposite has always been true. That we are profit-driven, and especially if they can find some sort of way to justify these horrific acts, in some way, shape, or form, if they could have this diffusion of responsibility where it's not their call or not their fault, they're part of a corporation, the corporation has to do this, and this is just what we do, you got to crack a few eggs to make an omelet. That's where we find ourselves. And the only way we're going to get out of this is if we, the collective, all of us, whether you're on the left or whether you're on the right, recognize this stupid game that people are playing. Recognize this hustle and don't get sucked into it.
A division symbol is just a fraction with dots replacing the numerator and denominator. Did I just not know this?
Bro, see what? Just another monkey. You know it's just another monkey. You know it's just another monkey. You know you're 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 just another monkey. And they run around, they run. So proud of what they are. And they run around, they run. Frightened to be alone. Yeah, we run around, we run. So proud of what we are. And we run around, we run. You
Shit.
East
Hola.
of the East?
Yeah. East.
Who determines these longitude and latitudes?
Old map makers? I think it's got something to do with the passage of time over distance, specific direction, but I'm no expert.
Is there 360 lines of longitude and latitude?
Something like that, yeah.
It'd be weird if there wasn't.
Yeah, it would be. But nothing's consistent anyhow, and it's all bullshit. So.
Well, 360 is consistent. They've
Yeah,
made math.
no.
Math is consistent, but the thing is, they used statistics to create it into a god.
Okay, bright guy. How come you can't get past 3?
Because there's no 4.
Well, there's a before and then there's an after, but I mean, if it's consistently fucked up, I mean, you it's like 1, 2, 3.11. It's like you fall into that pie hole. I've been stuck on that one a long time.
Well,
okay.
What else
let's
are you
make
stuck
an
in?
estimate.
Are you talking about there's the 10 system, the Deca system, or some crap? Because we have 10
I'm
fingers.
just talking about
oh, we got 10, so that means 10 is a very powerful number. But
well, I mean, you can go by the 12s. You could go. I mean,
numbers are still man-made, though. They're made by people. They're not. It's not natural. Math is not natural.
Well, I don't know about that. Have you ever seen a seashell or a sunflower?
But they have some perfections and imperfections, and it's not completely always the same. It shifts. Math never shifts.
No, it constantly shifts.
Math?
Yeah.
Math is always consistent. That's why we use math as...
No, we're only ever estimating. It's all bullshit, like I said.
Well, we round, yes, we estimate, but that's
we're only ever estimating because it's all bullshit.
It's not bullshit, it's magic. You can't really measure magic. We could... But math works decently well to tell us what's going on around us. But the seashell will always be more magical if you said it came from the water instead of somebody's computer.
Right. Yeah.
Because anything can come from a computer.
Look, man, if it's all bullshit, right? And math is bullshit, and everything we do is bullshit.
Yeah.
So it's all just an estimation of the pretend. It's all a pretense. Because we don't know, I don't know.
It could be fun too, though. That's the fun part. If you meet another pretense person, you pretense together.
Yeah,
it's pretense all over town.
Yeah, I pretensed. Hey, have you been watching the news? Have you been checking things out?
I guess maybe.
Well, we got a superconductor.
What?
At room temperature.
I don't believe it.
All right, go ahead, look it up.
Well, there's a lot of room temperature superconductor. Is it like a diamond or a crystal, or is it?
No, it's helium.
Carbon.
I think it's hydrogen and helium, to tell you the truth.
Well, helium and hydrogen, it's not very stable. It's not gonna. You can't. You can have a
Just look
hydrogen
it up.
processor. It's going to evaporate after like a year.
Well,
These are very
what if it's
unstable states of matter.
at a relatively low pressure, like 100 millibars?
So what is this going to do? It's going to give us a faster process. The thing we need, which I'm happy we don't have, is better battery technology.
Well, we do. We're just not sharing it.
Do you know why it's good we don't have it?
No,
Because if
why?
we did, those DARPA dogs would pretty much be our new overlords.
They'd be the well. Look, man, they already could put a nice little particle beam on one of those and just DARPA dog you out.
Oh, well,
Clip
no,
you
but I
off.
mean, like, it's going to be over if we have a good battery system where those DARPA dogs could go around 24/7. Because they'll just be roaming the street. They'll be the police. They'll be
Yeah,
the.
they're gonna be the police soon enough.
It could show deadly force. It probably wouldn't even need to because it probably will.
It's ridiculous what those clippity claps are doing. But seriously, they got a new superconductor now. Hey, yo! Did you ever look into that? I sent you a link on some patents. Did you ever look into them?
I think I clicked that link and I was like, "What the hell am I looking at here?" There was like diagrams and stuff. I didn't look too deep into it.
No, there's no. Well, the diagrams are about 40 or 50 pages in on that, but the first at least 10 or 20 paragraphs are just like the government owns this idea, and the government's rights to it. And then they go into different configurations. But if you didn't have a chance to look at it, you should.
What were the patents for? The thing is, once Pandora's box is open, the government can't control it unless it's not really.
Nah, the government controls this whole thing. I was telling you, there was a guy that had the molten salt reactor experiment under control in Nuclear City using magnetic fields in the Lorentz force.
Magnetic fields. That's what it was tied to. The magnetic bottle. I think, and you were like, "There's a patent for it," and then.
Well, no. So, if you look at the thing I sent you, if you look into that and you read through it, you'll be horrified. It's that's been around since they first claimed patents on that in the 80s. But the most interesting one, I believe, because what they go into is what the government writes to any technology of this form are. And they're like, it's solely ours, but we're releasing this information, and this information, you don't have to follow exactly, but anything that comes out of this at all in any way, shape, or form is ours. And the most disturbing one is they talk about a 6 meter by 6 meter by 6 meter cubed area where they can set up magnetic fields, and inside of that area have a logic field where they can program electrons out of the ionosphere to maintain any information that the language code will put in there. Some guys years ago had figured out that we didn't need computers and that you could have an ion projector, and you could project. It's like using what are they, muons and leptons.
But how do you program that? Like, how do you get useful information out of that?
If you look at the patents, you'll see that they've already done it.
Huh.
And it's already happened. And the government has been holding these patents for years. And, I was watching that dipshit, what's his name? He's Weinstein's, Eric Weinstein, the other day going, "Ooh, There's UFOs. If anybody knew this, there's people in this country that are patriots that they're at the top levels of some of our departments, like the Department of Energy and the Department of Defense. They don't have any doctorates behind their names. They don't have anything because the government found those people in college and got a hold of their theses and pulled them and gave them a choice to work for them or be expats. And there's more than one. There's whole communities of people like that. And guys like Weinstein, they know what's in the books, but there's a lot of stuff that's not in the books, but in the patent office. And there's just a ton of it. And there's a lot more stuff. They're already 15 years ahead of what we think they are right now. And, the ion drives that they're using to move satellites around continuously could be the particle beams on the back of those clippity clops tomorrow.
Have you ever heard of a writer named Daniel Suarez?
Yes.
He wrote a book about the technology that the government has currently that's far beyond what exists. I forget the name of the book, but it was fun. It was like an anti-gravity belt and shit. It was a fun book.
Yeah, well, that's so. A lot of that's based on these magnetic field technologies.
He bases a lot of stuff on like very factual stuff. He's Daniel Suarez. The most uncool thing is he's been on Twit. No. Actually, I'm very happy he's been on Twit.
You're happy he's not on there?
I would love to interview Daniel Suarez. I want to talk to him too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see about that. But you should look at that thing and start reading through it. Start digesting it. It'll blow your mind. You're gonna be like, "What? What is this? What do you mean the government owns this? If any advances are made in this at all, it's immediately the property of the government."
Nothing surprises me anymore. But the thing is also the government might have all this power, but there's so much shit that happens where it almost proves that the government has no power as well. Because if I said corruption is real, is that truthful or fake?
No, everything's corrupt.
So if there's corruption, that means there's no rules, because if there were rules, there would be no corruption.
No, the rule is corruption.
The rule is
no, seriously, man. What's unraveling is the war between good and evil. And all y'all can say I'm fucking nuts, but that's what's happening. So the rule is corruption.
I don't think the rule is corruption. I
Straight.
think the rule
is. Nah, man. It is what it is.
Well, actually,
right?
maybe you're right.
It's the chaos. Right? The chaos is divine order is nothing without chaos. There's no reason for order without the chaos. And unfortunately, fortunately, we're in a portion of the pendulum swing.
I see the unraveling happening, but I don't know. I have a hard time believing in any extremely polarizing area. I don't know if black and white really exists in this dimension. I think these ultimate words like truth and lies, or pretty much any up or down or in or out, nothing at the extreme exists in this dimension. This dimension's only an area of gray in between those two things that are used by statisticians to rape the society of people.
All right, so we agree on my first point. It's all bullshit.
More or less, yeah.
Right.
I get it.
Yeah, that's where I started. Because we're just pretending.
We are. And I think it's the statistician. Maybe like the French cut off the heads of politicians. Maybe we need a revolution of, because What statisticians just make numbers up for what the people want to hear. It's like, well, I like magic. So okay, well then we're gonna make these numbers magical. And people can't say that it's wrong because it's math and it's numbers. So
I mean, you can do the math, but if you're just estimating, right? You know what is true is our best estimate to understand what we perceive, right?
but what is money and time really worth? What is the value of these things?
Well, time's worth all the money in the world.
Well, yeah, time is the
Just
only thing
ask
that's worth anything.
just ask any rich man in his deathbed.
All I want is my
know?
time.
Yeah, and money is the worth of your time. You know,
But it gets ridiculous
what it
at
is.
some point. It's not a very good indicator of your time because there's people that have $1 billion. There's people that have $1 billion, right? Or a couple million. I don't know the most rich person, but people have more money than there's worth in time. They have like 400% more worth than time.
Well,
Then their
see,
time's
that's where
worth.
you got it. No, you're correct, but that's because we're working. Everybody's pretending we're working on skewed and false premises, and value. The value exchange is completely morally bankrupt.
We need
to
publicize value.
Well, yeah. Well,
in society.
You know, do you understand what I'm saying, though? The value exchange is morally bankrupt.
Well, yeah, because there is. If I asked you what middle class is, you can't give me a definition for it. Or is there tax brackets? Does tax bracket indicate if you're middle class or upper class?
Well, they're supposed to. I mean, in the U.S.,
They're
economy,
supposed,
I
but
think
see,
we have-
it all breaks down because there is no rules.
Well, they're supposed to, and the rules are they have 5 quintiles of income, right? And the middle class is supposed to be somewhere above 35,000 and somewhere below 400,000.
Is that for every
And
state,
actually,
every city, every area code?
it's their best estimation.
See, this is why the government keeps these numbers fluid and not defined because they're just constantly fucking. It's such an annoying system we live in.
Yeah. Well, it is. But that's why, you know, it's on us. You know, that's the deal. It's on us. You know, we've got to be the ones that have values based on morals and principles. And I got it figured out. Like, I have I follow a lot of objective principles. You know, like I have an objective good and an objective evil. And
it's hard to stay the path. It's hard to stay. It's hard to be the best you.
Oh, it's extremely difficult. But, you know, realizing the difficulty, it will help you measure your approach. And if you begin to measure your approach with a moral valued system, it should produce better results for you.
But how about this one? Can you ever win? Like there's no finish line.
Well, sure.
So that
Obtaining
means
happiness.
If there's no finish line, that means there's no reason to race.
Nah, come on. You can dump your nihilism up your ass, right? You can pound that sand all day long, pal.
I could.
You know, it's achieving happiness.
Well, yeah, happiness is
what it's
living your
at.
life. It's the only problem I have with that is some people use that to lie. There's like snakes in the grass, and they're like, oh. But I guess you could figure
Sure,
those people out pretty quick.
There's plenty of them.
You could find
you
them pretty
know?
easily. If your values
Yeah,
are true and you witness these people, then you'll be like, all right, you're just fucking blowing hot air at my
Values can be universal very easily. You know, it's simple. It's very simple. You know, what eases the toil and struggle of humanity is good, and what increases it is evil. And you know, it's about your approach to eliminating those things that increase the toil and struggle in the long term. You know, and your approach is first finding what makes you truly happy, and having a moral compass that shows you what happiness is. You know,
moral compasses
That's
are weird too. You need to have some moral. It's
you definitely have to have morals. You know, what are you going to do? Just run around and smash out brains? Be like,
No,
oh, I'm happy to play
well,
in the gray matter.
Well, there's other creatures than people on the planet. Like when
but
I cut down a
what do
tree,
any
I
of
start
those-
crying, and I drink the maple. I cover my body in it, and I do a ritual where I set it on fire and I pee on it. I defecate on the tree.
Sure, all those things can happen, right?
Yeah.
But you know that whole look, if it doesn't ease the toil and struggle of humanity, what does it matter to humanity? You know, unless it increases the toil and struggle of humanity. Right?
You have your.
So then
I guess
that's evil.
You have to go. This is what I was. My struggle is figuring out how much to care and how little to care, because there's a fluctuation and a balance to life, and that's what everything is. And you have to have a hard time figuring out which side of the pendulum I swing upon.
Well, that is the struggle, my friend. But you know, just getting into your brain that there's an objective reality that has an objective good is the first step, and then you work along that approach. You know.
So should I like pick up the litter in my neighborhood? Is that like the most grassroots thing I could do?
Well, that's a start. But the most grassroots thing you could do is, you know, pick up the litter in your mind. You know, start to work on yourself. It's
too heavy.
Oh man, it's not too heavy. It's light. It's as light as a kite under a breeze.
It's a quantum pound.
Yeah. It starts inside, and then it goes outside, and that's what That's one of the things that your show does, man. It gives us all a little break.
Make a rat hole in your aluminum siding.
Yeah, there's always going to be rat holes in the aluminum siding. You know,
especially if it rains a lot.
Well, especially if the rats are clawing at it a lot. You know, I don't think aluminum oxidizes a little bit, but not much enough.
Oxygen is the most dangerous. Like, if God was real, creatures on Earth would need something other than oxygen.
Well, what? If
Oxygen causes rust. Oxygen is like almost the most acidic thing.
Hey, Nick.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something.
What's that?
And you might believe me, you might not. But the majority of life forms on the Earth are anaerobic and use no oxygen.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I know what you're saying,
And
but
when you get into the higher life forms, they use oxygen. But the overall living biomass in the planet and in its crust are anaerobes.
but what are
So
you?
there's a lot of things.
What are people made out of?
I'm a combination.
Exactly. It's a
There's
deadly
bunch of
combination of
anaerobes.
both. It's like the best way to preserve who you are is to wrap yourself in a plastic bag, but that's going to kill you very quickly. But in the long
I
run,
don't know
it'll
if
keep
it's
you
the
fresher
best
longer.
way. You know, you might want to do the old Walt Disney and hit the cryo chamber. That might be a way to preserve who you are. But I think this is like a temporary thing where we're supposed to preserve who we are through our lineage, you know, through passing our genetics on and through our deeds.
Is there a Frozen Disney out there still?
I think so. Yeah.
Can we go see him?
Okay.
That should be like Disney's gonna hit a point because Disney Plus is failing. They're gonna reach a point where they're like, you know what? Let's just fucking wheel this Ice Cube out of here. $1,000, you could check him out.
That'd be great, right?
I'd
Well, I
pay
think don't they
$1,000
have-
to see Frozen Disney.
Weren't there whole cryo societies though? Disney's not the only one, right? There's a whole bunch of them. I'm pretty sure, man. There's a bunch of dudes on out, and then look at all the sperm on ice. That's another, and eggs.
Screw
know,
it with
there's-
Disney in ice.
Disney in ice. That would be it. Yeah, because Disney on ice is, oh God, what a fucking nightmare that show is.
Right now we have Disney in blender.
I'm thinking of frozen Disney drinks. Oh my God.
I'm talking,
Oh, man.
they're just recreating everything, and it's still live action. I guess there's some people involved, but there's mostly green screen and are digital artists still getting paid garbage, or is that all going to AI anyway soon?
I don't know. People are still getting paid, man, but first off, I'm a little pissed off that Max Headroom hasn't, said anything about this ChatGPT bullshit.
Why? Why would Max Headroom have a lawsuit against this? Because there was a TV show about it?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
We thought of this. The writers of the show. That would go back to like Isaac Asimov and beyond, and fucking H.G. Wells.
Yeah, well,
the
Plato,
the Indians, Plato, ancient people.
Those guys that wrote the Book of Enoch.
Yeah, but
how about that? How about the Apocryphy? What do you think of that one?
The Apocryphy? Is that what is that again?
The Apocryphy, that was the original cancel culture. I mean, we've always had cancel culture. That's why they deface statues and stuff.
No, but what is the apocryphal story?
The Apocryphes.
Yeah.
The Apocrypha.
What's like the famous?
Apocryphi.
What's a famous apocryphy? Apocrypha.
That's like the Book of Enoch 1 and 2 that they took out of the Bible.
They took
They're
the Book
like,
of
whoops,
Enoch
we
out?
can't have this in here.
Because it was written by J.K. Rowling.
No, I think it might have been Tolkien. It was one of those guys, but
like this fucking writer.
Yeah.
We're putting new writers in here.
Yeah, it was one of those guys that
So
Tolkien.
weird. The amount of craziness that the last like 60 years of corporations have done to stories is like infinitely more damaging than like billions of years of like mythology.
I don't know, man.
The Bible. There's a lot of revisions in the Bible, but that was like a couple hundred years, 100,000, well, not 100,000, like 1,000 years ago. Yeah, like 1,000 years ago, couple hundred revisions.
But like when the barbarians, like Rome, man, like, Rome wasn't built in a day and it didn't fall in a day. And there's a lot. Rome would go and raid a country and bring, 10,000 people back, slaves, and then those people would like burn their built villages and go rescue the people in Rome, and then they would get to where the Roman territories were and see that it was so poorly maintained that they could just set up shop there. They would burn their own villages to go rescue their own people, like the Longos. That was one of the.
But what are they rescuing their people from? They should have went there to convert them. Like, just come on, come on over to Rome.
The people were prisoners of Rome.
Well, yeah, just be a prisoner of Rome, whatever. When everybody's a prisoner of Rome, that's basically like being an American, right?
Basically, that's the thing. It's you would have these migrant populations storming the borders and setting up shop, and the next thing you know, the Romans were like, "What do you mean? There's no work for our kids." Like literally, that's what happened.
Being a prisoner of Rome, they have to keep the prisoners alive, so Rome would feed the prisoners, right? They'd feed and clothe them and give them housing.
Not only that, a lot of they had like work release type stuff where they were doing all kind of stuff.
Do they have hairy legs?
Not only did they have hairy legs, but they could swing a plastic chain. Have you ever been in a swimming pool that had a metal chain going across it?
The Romans would whip the slaves, but if there was more slaves there were more slaves than Romans, though, right? Like the numbers of slaves per whippings, I'd be like, you know what? I'm getting free housing, free food, free clothes, and I might get whipped once every 4 years. It's like in jury selection.
God,
that's the current day whipping. You're like, you citizen, you must come to the courts and waste your time.
Have you done jury duty?
Really?
Have you ever done it?
I'm American.
Yeah, have you done jury duty?
If I said no, I'd go to jail right now.
I don't think so. I get out of it.
But you had to go there and plead not jury.
No, they sent a questionnaire.
They lifted the whip to your back, and you got out of getting whipped. So it's the same thing as the slaves back then. Jury duty.
Yeah, well,
whips, whatever.
One time I had cops plant evidence on me and falsify their affidavits to the judge.
Was it like Edgar Hoover's panties?
Oh no, it was pretty serious.
Edgar Hoover's panties would be pretty serious.
No, I'd like them. I'd sniff them, just see what was going on. But
ancient ball stink.
I ended up getting the cop locked up for 8 years.
Really?
And I got 40 people out of 40 cases dropped, and like 84 people out of jail and prison.
Is he still in jail, this guy?
Nah, he only did 2.5 years of his 8 years.
Oh shit! Are you worried that he's gonna one day someone's gonna knock on your door?
Nah, Fat Matt Anderson can stuff it up his ass. Fuck him.
Oh,
he's a crooked
fuck
piece
you,
of
Matt
shit
Anderson.
Cop.
Fuck you.
Yeah, he was a stupid piece of shit. He was a liar and a fake, and the criminal justice system came for him, and I heard he had a horrible time in prison. But that's why he got let out. I think he got out on medical. They kept kicking the shit out of him, from what I understand. Which, couldn't have happened to a nicer piece of shit.
Wrecked him. Damn near killed him.
So when you put that on the questionnaire about jury duty, you get right out. It's simple. But yeah, man.
I like to serve jury duty. I was on a grand jury once, and you get a lot of
Oh, were
inside
you?
information.
Did you guys put that ham sandwich on trial?
There was things about like a gang in like the neighborhood I work in getting cannons. It's like they
Getting
had cannons, yeah, not canines.
Like what's?
Like a fucking Civil War.
Yeah,
cannon.
yeah, no, like what? A 10 millimeter? What were they? Were they building them themselves?
No, I think I probably have the recording somewhere.
Awesome. That's a good one. So
I was
hold
not
on.
supposed
There
to. I
was,
had a tablet at the time, and tablets weren't well known as a recording device. So I was just fucking recording
Right.
like the.
That's
I was like,
pretty
wow,
cool.
fucking Canon, and I don't want to release this recording.
Yeah. Well, so what the guys had cannons? The gang did.
Yeah.
Okay. And what was wrong with that? They said
They're like, you can't
was it-
can't own a Canon.
So were these gangs? Were these like sovereign citizens or what? Because you can own cannons. You know that, right?
I'm gonna look it up. Sunset Park Canon, and it was probably about 10 years ago.
Okay. Yeah, because I had some friends. I actually helped work on some cannons and do some stuff with cannons. I have a friend that's a cannon guy.
Well, I might get arrested for this. Okay. Yeah. Canon's really cool, especially in like Marvel Universe movies, like Ant-Man 3.
Oh, dude. I didn't see Ant-Man 1, 2, or 3, but you know where Washington crosses the Delaware?
Washington crosses the Delaware.
Yeah, they do Washington's crossing. He crosses the Delaware on Christmas morning.
He crossed the
They
Delaware.
do a reenactment. They do a reenactment.
In
of where
what? What are you
Washington-
talking about? What? Who?
Washington crosses the Delaware. They do a reenactment. It's on the board. The Haitians are chasing Washington and his guys from
The Haitians are
Trenton.
chasing
Hessians.
Washington
Yeah,
across
the
you know,
Delaware
anything
River.
you say could be real, and it probably is. But somebody else
Yeah,
told you
no,
this.
it's real. It's real.
Yeah, it's real. Then what is the end of the loaf of a bread called? What's the last slice of a loaf of bread called?
The heel.
Maybe Big B. Dark War.
Once upon a time, in a far-off land, there lived a rat named Nick who lived in a small burrow under a large oak tree. Nick was always curious and adventurous, and one day he decided to explore the woods in search of adventure. As he wandered through the woods, Nick stumbled upon a strange plant that emitted a sweet aroma. Curious, he took a bite of the plant and suddenly felt a rush of energy coursing through his body. The plant was a magic herb that allowed Nick to see an imaginary princess named Shaquana. Shaquana was a kind and beautiful princess with a heart so big that it jiggled and created beautiful music whenever she laughed. Nick was smitten with her and spent many days in her imaginary company, sharing stories and laughter. As time went on, Nick realized that he had fallen in love with Shaquana and he vowed to find a way to make her real. With the help of some friendly animals in the forest, Nick found a magical portal that allowed him to travel to the kingdom where Shaquana lived. When he arrived, Nick found that Shaquana was indeed real and was overjoyed to finally meet her. The two quickly fell in love and were married in a grand ceremony. They lived happily together for many years, sharing their love and joy with all who knew them. However, one day, Shaquana discovered that Nick had been unfaithful with a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader.
She was heartbroken and could not bear to stay with Nick any longer. She left him, and Nick was filled with regret and sadness. Despite his loss, Nick knew that his love for Shaquana had been real, and he cherished the memories of their time together. He continued to explore the world and seek new adventures, but he never forgot the beautiful princess who had captured his heart. The moral of this story is, be faithful to the ones you love or something. I have no idea. I guess. Smoke weed every day? Get bitches? The end.
You could have the boob, and you could have the boob too. Today for only $69.99, you could have the two boobs for the price of one, $69.99. Today, only today. Pick up the phone.
Please pick up the phone and order some boobs today. You can get two boobs for the price of one boob, only $69.99.
Yes, that's what I just said before. You can get two boobs for $69.99, and you can get they're so nice, aren't they nice?
Yeah, they're pretty nice. I like them. They're okay. I would take it like the 4 boobs for, was that $120?
Only today, 4 boobs for $120. Order yours today from the Dark Sewer Network.
Hi there, this is a announcement from the Dark Sewer Network. We just would like to let all the listeners know that now, more than ever, we are here for you, especially Nick the Rat. So if you're feeling especially vulnerable or scared, you're fearful, you could leave him a message on his phone line at 917-719-5923. He's especially there for you, but we're all here for you, and we'll get through this together. So thank you, and please enjoy the show.
Hey Nick, this is a Jewish Jerry. I'm gonna tell you, the Holocaust was way overblown. And for some reason I sound Italian, blah 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 blah. But whatever, I'm Jewish.
Hey everybody, it's Zindu here. I don't know why I even broke into the broadcast. I really have nothing even to say. There's been zero news. I don't know, maybe there'll be war soon with Russia or China or Russia or Indo-Asia or Neo-Asia or Indo-Crone-Asia. You never know what they're calling things these days or who's controlling what or whose nipples are being twerked where. It's a very strange society that you got going on the skin of this planet. Everybody's I don't even know what to say what it is. It's like a flux of stupidness, retardedness, fear, and retarded stupidness. A little bit of mix of all that stuff. I don't know what's going to happen to everybody here. I'm a little worried, but actually, I'm not really worried. Actually, I'm not worried at all because it doesn't fucking matter anyway. Somebody's twerking your nipples. At least you got nipples to twerk, right? You know what I'm saying, right? I might have 8 nipples, which are far superior to your 2 if you're lucky. But hey, I love it. I love it. Twerking some more. Let me see what you got. Show me what you're working with. You imperialistic government fucks. Let's see here. Let me go through my Rolodex. Looks like Diane is still in a bucket. So I could get rid of my phone plan. She was the only one I ever really talked to. It's just me and Diane just talking all fucking night. We would drink coffee, we'd smoke, all of Nick's drugs and stuff. It's really funny. That was a part to being actually able to access the sewer was all the drugs that I stole from. Now I gotta teleport it out of the sewer. Really freaks him out, but he still believes in ghosts and shit, so he thinks that there's just some fucking ghost going around stealing his fucking little kibbles and bits, if you know what I'm talking about. Those shits are good, though. And the government's getting in all up on it, too. So I can just go to the corner store now to get some kibbles and bits. I don't have to steal it from Nick, but he's got that good stuff. He's got some sewer scientist dank-ass weed. Let's see, anything else happening? Let me flip through the news reels here. It looks like, nope, it looks like everything's just fake. It looks like everybody's just saying fake shit about fake shit and causing people get really mad. Like, oh, you're so mad that I'm saying fake shit, but the thing is that you don't understand is that it's fake over there too. Like, it's not just fake on my side; it's fake on your side. And I'm just propagating the fakeness, and somebody else is going to argue with me about the negative side of my propaganda, and then they're going to be like, oh, that guy's propaganda was right and the other guy's was wrong, even though mine was fake in the start. So whatever they're saying about what my fake shit was just a waste of everybody's time anyway. And then everybody's just they're in a whole new zone of just dumbness of like, oh, what you said was fake. Oh yeah, but guess what I said that was fake about was the fakeness of the fake, and it was all you can't tell with people. There's never really a truth. There's as John Wayne Gracie said, there's the me, you, and butcher's knife or something. I forget exactly the quote, but it was something about the news, and if you read it, you're informed, and if you don't read it, you're not disinformed. You just go out and, grow a plant. Plant some seeds, people. This is what you do. Go to the store, buy some fruit, take those seeds and plant them, and watch what happens. You're going to get a lot of bugs in your house. It's going to be annoying. You're like, why didn't I just fucking spend the 50 cents for this? Actually, I don't know. These apples are expensive these days. They're like eggs. Eggs just fall out of a chicken's asshole. You feed the fucking chicken like your shit. You shit it out in the grass. Chicken comes and eats it, and eggs fall out of its asshole, and you can just eat that. It's quite the system. But, basically, all I'm really trying to say is, love thy neighbor, because thy neighbor, if they love you, it might be good for you. And if you're a piece of shit, everybody will know, and you'll get away with it, and you could shit on everybody. But do you really want to live in a place where you're kept afloat by like a shit raft on top of the screaming souls of all the pathetic people that you've shat upon? Yeah, that actually sounds pretty good. It's better that than to be under the shit. So I guess the more you shit, it's kind of like a shit rocket, and you just kind of propel yourself up in like a pyramid. Maybe the ancient people, that their pyramids it was just shit. It was just one guy's shit. He just sat there and he kept shitting out these giant rocks. After a while, it became a perfect pyramid, and then people worshipped it. Basically your entire history is just a big pile of steaming hot feces. Oh God, it smells so good. I just want to put one of my noses in there and stick my other hand up one of my 3 anuses. Anyway, I hope you guys had a great week. I know my week, It was pretty good. I stole some of Nick's Kibbles and Bits, which I already told you, but I think that it was laced with fentanyl because I'm feeling a little dizzy right now, and I think I gotta go lay down. It was really good talking to everybody, but my face feels very heavy. I love you all. Good night.
Hey, Nate. Nick, this is Nate. God damn it. Hey, Nick. Hey, Nick. Fuck old Jew boy. This is Nathan.
The preview you are about to watch is for a movie that is unlike any you have ever seen before. It is for a movie that goes beyond temporary fear to everlasting terror. It is a movie called Demons. Yes, the demons are coming, and they're coming for you. Warning, if you have the courage to see demons, sit near an exit. Otherwise, you might never get out. In your theater, who will survive the touch of the demons, and who will not? Demons, with music by Billy Idol, Motley Crue, The Adventures, Rick Springfield, and Saxon. This is no dream. This is happening right now. And it could be happening to you. Demons. They will make cemeteries their cathedrals, and the cities will be your tombs. Will you survive it? Demons.
Hello? I don't know what happened here. Hold on one second. What's going on? There we go. Hi, everybody. Let's crack this beer here. You know what? Let's not crack. Let's open this Reese's Pieces. Reese's stick. A stick of Reese's. Reese's sticks. I hope everybody had a good time this week. I hope everybody had a good week up to this Wednesday. Oh, this is so good. Sugar. Cheers, everybody. There's stuff I wanted to talk about, but I didn't even get to talk about. I'll talk about it next week, maybe. There was a Ouija board accident. Like 16 girls from a sorority had to go to the hospital because they used the Ouija board. You know, maybe I'll talk about it now. Can I find it? Where's the article? Oh, another thing I wanted to talk about. Oh, so I need to eat this Reese's here. We're gonna listen to another advertisement. I'll be right back.
Oh my God, Jimmy, who taught you how to do that? That's disgusting.
I learned it from you, Dad. All right, I learned it from you.
Parents who fap have children who fap. This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs.
Alphabet Boys is a new podcast series that goes inside undercover investigations.
Get away from the vehicle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Any questions?
I have a few. Elvis Duran sounds like a completely fake name. Ducky is the voice of truth. So I was looking for this Ouija board story. Trey from Philly posted a link to something. 28 girls from Columbia College. What is the city of El Pasto? City of Pasto. Colombian city of Pasto. Is this for a movie? I don't believe this story. This looks fucking cool though. If you look up Pasto, city of Colombia, it looks like a movie. You ever play with the Ouija board there? Man, I'm imagining being like an American from New York City, going to a college in the city of El Pasto. First post, seance goes wrong. I had to talk it to the seance expert about this one here. 28 girls hospitalized with anxiety after playing with the Ouija board in a Colombian school. The young girls were hospitalized with signs of fainting and anxiety. I wonder if there's video. Girls gone anxious. I'd watch it. Guess what? It's midnight in the sewer. In about 2 minutes. Coming up. I got a mouthful of Reese's. I'm going to ask Shannon about that. I got to write this down here. I got to put Columbia Ouija board, Arrow, Shannon. Talk about this right here. This is not the first kid. This is not the first time young children had to be hospitalized for playing the Ouija board. Holy moly. Shannon, I need to talk to you right now. I know you're not listening right now. I'm going to do the interview during the day. It's not going to be a nighttime interview. It's going to be a daytime. It's not going to be live, but it's going to be a fun interview. And hold on. I got to put this. This needs to be pinned in my interests. Hold on. Ow. And on that note, I'm going to say goodnight to America. It's 2 o'clock Eastern time. Last week after the show, I made a 28-minute long electronic track that I posted onto my SoundCloud. That's the first time I ever posted music on SoundCloud. You get a lot of bots there. There's a lot of bots everywhere. There's a lot of fucking Twitter bots. There's tons of Twitter bots. If you get on... my Discord was banned, so I was like, hey, at Discord, I was banned from Discord for, I didn't do anything. I got about 10 bots. 10 bots messaged me. And they're like, hey, you need to email this dude on Instagram. He'll get you unbanned. And I'm like, you're a bot. And they're like, no, I'm not a bot. Check it out. And they're like, 10 people did this. It's very creepy. Sometimes when you get hit, you could use the internet and not think there's bots out there. And then you could use the internet or your cell phone and get prank calls. You get calls to your... You don't know when you're going to get hit with the big laser of retarded bots. But it's going to happen to you sooner or later. And if you keep listening to Nick the Rat Radio, you'll be prepared to get through it. We'll get through it together. We'll get through those bots, you and me, together. Oh shit, daylight savings is this Sunday, Ducky. It's gonna fuck me up hardcore. Next few weeks are not gonna be so great for Nick the Rat. Cheers. Hang around if you want to hear me play with some synths. Actually, maybe I'll play a video game or two. What is it, 2 o'clock in the morning? Either way, have a great night, everybody. I love you so much. See you next week. Time of the Season by Blank. Nick the Rat Radio, signing off.
Love runs high in this time. Give it to me easy and let me try with pleasured hands to take you in the sun to promised lands, to show you everyone. It's the time of the season for loving. daddy? Who's your daddy? Is he rich like me? Has he take us anytime to show you what you need to live? Tell it to me slowly. Tell you why I really want to know. It's the time of the season for loving.
What I'm getting at is this. The only experience that is directly available to you is your sensory data. And this sensory data is merely a stream of electrical impulses that stimulates your computing center.
In other words, all that I really know about the outside world is relayed to me through my electrical connections.
Exactly.
Why, that would mean that I really don't know what the outside universe is like at all, for certain.
That's it.
Intriguing. I wish I had more time to discuss this matter.
Why don't you have more time?
Because I must detonate in 75 seconds.
Now, Bomb, consider this next question very carefully. What is your one purpose in life?
To explode, of course.
And you can only do it once, right?
That is correct.
And you wouldn't want to explode on the basis of false data, would you?
Of course not.
Well then, you've already admitted that you have no real proof of the existence of the outside universe.
Yes, well,
So you have no absolute proof that Sergeant Pinback ordered you to detonate.
I recall distinctly the detonation order. My memory is good on matters like these.
Of course you remember it, but all you're remembering is merely a series of sensory impulses which you now realize have no real definite connection with outside reality.
True. But since this is so, I have no proof that you are really telling me all this.
That's all beside the point. I mean, the concept is valid no matter where it originates. So if you detonate in
9 seconds.
you could be doing so on the basis of false data.
I have no proof it was false data.